Hello there guys, it's your Blue Crown here, back here on our video, and today I'm going to do What If Deku Was Reborn, part 2, hope you enjoy it. So last part we followed the enemy for a bit, but in this scenario All Might did not save Deku. Deku died, for lack of better terms, with a bunch of new powers that he doesn't know how to use, and a voice in his head that kind of know what are these powers. So after using a gate, it's one of his powers, he went to another world, saved the kid, and the father of that kid is powerful. And after he showed his power, man offered to train Deku, with Deku accepting, after figuring that 1 year in his world is equal to 1 year in the other world. And I think that's it for the recap, so let's begin. So after resting a bit, the man, Ray, this is his name, tell Deku to follow him. So they start walking away from the village, and after a while, they stop. So Ray tell Deku before they start training, he tell him that he need to see what he can do. So Deku launch at him and try to hit him, and Ray noticed that Deku is just punching randomly and hoping that he can touch him. So after a minute, he tell him to stop, and he pointed that Deku doesn't have any technique. You don't have any type of martial art training or anything. Deku shook his head. So I guess I need to teach you everything from scratch, huh? Anyway, before I give you any type of training, we need to see which level you are. By the way, do you know which level you are? Deku shook his head, even though he know. I guess your mom did not let you go out a lot, huh? Deku laughed nervously. You can say that again. So two of them made their way back toward the village. So after they go into a weird shop, the shopkeeper tell them what do you need. So Ray tell him to see the kid level. So they go in the back room and see a mirror. The shopkeeper tell Deku to touch it and focus on it. Deku did and his stats show up. So you're level 1. Then Ray noticed something. Even though he's level 1, his agility and strength and overall stats are a bit higher than usual. So after that they made their way toward the training ground. Then Ray tell him, listen here kid, so, like I told you, I don't know how to use the other elements because I don't have them. The only element that I have is lightning. I will teach you how to use it after I teach you martial art, because you cannot rely on magic all the time. Deku nod. So for the next couple of weeks, Deku begin his brutal training. And Ray noticed something. Deku is growing faster with each passing day, or to be precise, with each passing training. Plus he's catching on pretty quick. And at first when they fought and he catch Deku's punch, he felt nothing, but now he started to feel something. And Deku know about that because after a while he took a look at his stats and he saw that he's already level 10, and that intrigued him because Ray told him that usually it took you at the very least 3 months of training to reach level 10, or his training to be precise. So in just a couple of weeks he's already level 10? What's going on? So Jarvis, the voice in his head, because following the original, it's because of his skill, fast learner. When you focus on a task, you're getting stronger, learning something, that skill will automatically activate and it will help you grow faster. That's interesting and something good to have. So after Ray noticed that, he took Deku back to the shop and he saw that he's already level 10. And that shocked him and the shopkeeper. You're growing fast, kid. Deku just laughed nervously and tell him, well, you're a good teacher, and a harsh one. Ray just grinned. Anyway, you're still weak to be able to use my technique. At the very least, you need to be level 40 to use it. I see. So after that, Deku returned to his brutal training for the next 2 months. With each passing day, Deku pushed his body more and more. And since Ray doesn't know anything about how to use flames or Deku's other elements, after he got familiar to it, Deku asked around the town if there is anyone that can use magic. But sadly there is no one except for Ray. Because anyone that can use magic usually just leave this town and go to the big city to get stronger and work as an adventurer. Deku started thinking, adventurers, huh? Well, this world already have magic, so why not? So he started doing what he do best, remembering all the heroes that he got information on that can use fire. Plus with the help from Jarvis and Ray, He tell him even though they are different, all the elements work in the same way. You use your mana to manifest that element. So after brainstorming a bit, Deku was able to figure out how to use his fire, and by extension the other elements. But it was still hard because he need to visualize it, and he's still new to it, so it will take him some time. And during this time, Deku and Rei's son start getting closer, and Rei's son see him as an older brother, and Deku start learning about his surrounding, about the creatures in this world, and how they function. So one thing led to the other, and Deku asked Rei about the species around here. Sure, why not? So we have elves, humans, dwarfs. Dwarfs, Deku tell him? Wait, you have never met a dwarf? Yeah, like I told you, my family is a bit conservative, so except for humans, I did not meet any other species. You're getting weirder and weirder by the second, you know that? Deku just laughed nervously. Anyway, Rei tell him, there is 4 species in this world. Humans, elf, dwarfs, and dragons. Humans, well, we are humans, so you know about us. We can live to up to 100 years, and we can level up faster than the other races, except for the dragons. I will talk about them later. So physical strength is where the dwarfs excel at, and mana and magic in general is where the elf excels. And we humans are in the middle. We are not overly strong physically, and we don't have a lot of mana. But you're different. Are you sure you're not a mixed race between a human and a dwarf? Because when I first saw your stats, they were higher than usual for a human. Deku assured Jin that he's 100% human. Well, at least what his mom told him because he never met his dad. Rei can see that he's not lying, so he believed him. Then Deku tell him, what about dragons? You haven't mentioned them yet. So about dragons, they are the ultimate race, to put it bluntly. They can live for thousands of years, they are physically strong, and they have a lot of mana. And they can grow in levels pretty fast. Not insanely fast, but better than humans. I see, Deku reply. And one more thing you have to remember, Izuku. Never, and I mean never, come close to a dragon. Because even though they don't hate us, they don't like us either. Deku gulp and nod. Good. Anyway, I think it's about time I teach you how to use a bit of lightning before we move on. So he tell him to extend his hand in front of him and imagine a current of electricity going from one hand to the other. Deku did, and after a few seconds, a small lightning started showing in between his hands and it started growing. He's good. Okay, now try to make it stronger, but also don't lose control. Deku did, and the lightning started growing bigger and bigger. Then Rei tell him to stop. But Deku didn't. Izuku, stop. I don't know how to stop. Try coming down. Deku tried, but to no avail. The lightning started growing bigger and bigger until it exploded. Well, it did not explode per se, but all that power was let out around them and Deku got the full blown of it. So he was hurt, and Rei took him home to rest. So after a few hours, Deku woke up without a scratch on him and asked what happened. Then Jarvis tell him what happened. He lost control and he got zapped pretty hard. Oh, I see. Then Rei entered the room and saw Deku already awake. Izuku tried not to move. I think you still hurt. Actually, I'm already healed. What? Rei tell him. Yeah, then Deku removed his bandages and yes, he's healed already. So not only you are stronger, but you can also heal faster? Are you sure you're still human, kid? Deku laughed nervously. Well, I think. And because he spent some time with him, Deku started changing a bit. He's more confident in his abilities. Anyway, after that, Rei let Deku rest for the rest of the day, because tomorrow he will need it. So for the next few weeks, Deku worked on his magic and his body, and little by little he started getting better at using it. Then one day he tried to manipulate it and form a spear, but he failed. So he asked Rei about it. Rei tell him it's because you only have the first level. First level? Deku asked, Rei nod, and he explained that every element have 2 levels. For lightning, in the second level you are able to use or create objects from lightning. And at the very least you need to be at level 50 to use it. You are level 30, to my shock. So there is still 20 more to go. Oh, I see. So Deku resumed his training, and not long after that he reached level 40. So Rei decided to teach him how to use the Zeus clock. And because of his previous experiments, he knew how to manipulate his lightning around him. So he starts focusing and lightning starts surrounding his body. His hair spiked up and it turned white with a bluish tint. And his eyes turned blue, basically the same transformation that Rei had. Rei congratulated him on getting this level. Deku thanks him, but like we all know, Deku is a quick thinker. So when he took a look at his body, he saw that he didn't change. And Ray noticed that, so he smirk and tell him, "You did notice it, huh?" Deku nod. "I didn't get buff like you did." Ray smirk and tell him that's because you only have the first stage of it. Right now it's just surrounding you. That's why it's only giving you a small boost compared to the full power. Let it run through you. Through me, huh? Deku tried, and he feel that he's getting stronger, but he immediately powered down. Damn, it's even harder than I thought. Yeah, it is. I've been through it. But don't worry, I know that you can do it. I believe in you. Deku looked at him and smiled. Then they went on their training. And because Deku is quickly learning, in terms of skill he's already on par with Ray. And the reason he's always losing is because Ray is level 100 and Deku is still under 50. So needless to say, the power difference is immense. Plus experience also play a big part of it. So one day Ray sit Deku down and tell him that after he's done teaching him how to use the Zeus clock, he need to leave. Deku was surprised. What? Sorry, I did not want to say it like that. Basically, you have a lot of untapped potential, Izuku. You can learn every magic out there, but if you stay here, you will learn nothing. So after I'm done teaching you everything that I have, you need to go out and explore the world, so with that you can learn different type of magic and get experience that you can't have here. Plus you'll be acquainted with different type of people, and you need to learn that not every person have good intention. Because from the time I spend with you, I see that you are, well, to put it bluntly, you trust people too much. You only see the good in people, and that's a good thing, but too much of that, it will be your downfall. Deku trusts his master's word, and he agreed with him. Thus after the talk, they went on their training. During this time, Deku was able to unlock the full power Zeus clock, and his body did get buffer from it. As soon after that, he was able to reach level 50, meaning he unlocked level 2 of the lightning. So Ray started teaching him how to use it at the full potential, creating objects, swords, spears, rope or something like that, and that gave him a way larger arsenal of techniques and moves he can use. But that also means that he needs to train harder. Then one time during their break, Deku asked him about the Zeus clock. Why did he choose that name? Well, Zeus clock, you know Zeus, the god or the legend. Deku nod and tell him, but there's also Thor. Ray laugh a bit and tell him, yeah, he know about him, but the Zeus clock is a bit catchy than the Thor clock. Yeah, I agree with you, but Deku started thinking. He know about Zeus and Thor, so they have almost the same history or something like that. Maybe his world and this world were connected in some way. That also explains the legends about monsters in his world. So he started thinking if he should ask him about it. But he knew that come with the risk of him knowing his true identity. And with that, I'm going to stop it right here. I know it's shorter compared to my other videos, but I'm trying to keep the parts as long as the original ones. Of course, I will change it here and there, but I'll also try to keep at the same length, because I don't want to ruin the story. Like I said in last part, I will fix the plot holes, not ruin it. Anyway, I was going to say what you guys think is going to happen, but let's be honest, the old ones know what's going to happen. But if you're new, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and leave a like if you want me to continue this what if, I mean part 41. And if you're new, subscribe, there is more videos like this coming, and like always guys, peace.